Okay, so we are live. We are live, and we're 5 seconds into a pregame show, and it is November 27. It's 3:42 p.m. This is a special show on a Saturday. It is cold outside. I just had a brisk walk for about almost 2 hours, and somebody noticed my watch, and this was their reaction.
Is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. Is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful.
So that's the reaction normally when folks see the 002 stunner, the 002 stunner on wrist, and you want to have a watch that is stunning. And so we're going to talk about once again, people making poor decisions. I'm seeing people sharing their watch collection, and they've got like a dozen or so steel Rolexes, and they don't have one gold stunner. They've got a dozen, some of them half a dozen, some of them a dozen, a large number of steel stunners and not one gold stunner. And I hate to break the news to them, but the gold stunner's stunning. A steel watch is just, it's okay. It's okay. It's not stunning. And that's just the way of the world, folks. That's the way of the world. Sorry to break the news to some of you folks that are just heavy into steel watches. Sunrise Beaches says, "Hi, are you buying any metaverse coins or stocks?" I bought the dip on Bitcoin. I bought the dip, and then it dipped some more. I might buy some more, but this is we had a beautiful Black Friday sale on Bitcoin. So I actually bought some Bitcoin the other day, even prior to the big dip. I bought some after the dip, and then there was a double dip. And I think I'm going to buy some more maybe on Monday. We'll see how things survive over the weekend. And I don't think Bitcoin's going to go that much lower. It seems to have a fair amount of support around the $55,000 range or so. Durs in the house, early show today. Yes, it's an emergency broadcast because I've been noticing a lot of people are making some poor buying decisions. And so we're going to talk about that. Sunrise Beaches in the house. Do you like meteorite dials? Some of them are interesting looking, but I like a simpler dial like this white snowflake dial that's on the 002, especially for something I'm going to wear a lot. But some of them look good. Still, Sports Rolex is the Bitcoin of the watch market. In the house. Not really. And I'll tell you why. If you just run some numbers, Bitcoin, Rolex typically makes historically about 1 million watches a year. We're not sure of the exact numbers. The vast majority of those are steel watches. And if you look at even years when they only made 500,000 before they bumped it up to 1 million, you're looking at already there are more than 21 million Rolexes out there in the wild, significantly more than 21 million. And if you look at the addressable market for Rolex versus the addressable market for Bitcoin, there's a huge difference there. Rolexes, no matter how popular they get, no matter how many people talk about them, no matter how many sponsorships of Formula One they do, or Wimbledon tennis or whatever, it's still going to be a relatively small percentage of the population will end up owning a Rolex. Relatively small percentage of the population. And with a Rolex, you have to buy a whole Rolex. So that it really limits the number of people that can buy it because of the price point. So that means it's not going to be as big an addressable market. So when you look at an investment, when you look at the potential upside of any investment, you have to look at the addressable market. And with Bitcoin, the legitimate addressable market, assuming it continues to grow, assuming the adoption curve continues the way it's been going. This is the bet we're making, those of us that are investing in Bitcoin. Assuming those things are true, the addressable market for Bitcoin is anyone with a cell phone, literally anyone with a cell phone. So it is a huge addressable market. And you also factor in that it is potentially a legitimate, real investment, whereas steel Rolexes, it's very debatable as to whether or not you could call them a legitimate, real investment. They're not very liquid. They don't have a very long track record of being a good investment. Matter of fact, they're generally speaking not a good investment. If you look at the returns over the years, and we've talked about this, how it should double every 7 years. If it's a good investment, you're going to get 10%. It should double every 7 years. Virtually no Rolexes do that. So they're a relatively poor investment. So yeah, no, I would say that that the steel Rolex is a speculative bubble that is even for those who bought at the right time is still not a great investment. So yeah, I would not recommend steel Rolexes as an investment in any way, shape, or form. For all those reasons and more. Do you like the Rolex Masterpiece 18948? I would have to see which one that is. Which is that a date? I like the 1803. I like the 1807. Steve has no white birch in stock. Brett said he tried to buy one, but there's a long waiting list. It's starting to happen a little bit. There's starting to be some issues, some supply issues. Durr's in the house. My Ford stock is up 225% since I bought it at the beginning of the pandemic, and they just reinstated their dividends. Good move. Good move. And remember, a lot of equities are going up because of the insane money printing, the insane money printing. So it's not as much the Ford stock went up, it's the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down. That's what's happened there. So it's a whole thing, but that's good performance. That's very good performance, Durr. You should have taken your money from the steel watches and put it in that. You see, that performed a lot better than the steel watches. They're not up 225%. I can tell you that right now, on average. Kyle's in the house. I feel good enough having bought it at $11. Just bought more Bitcoin Sunrise Beaches in the house, buying the dip. Ford, not BTC, LOL. I missed the $11 BTC. Yeah, I hear you. I missed it too. I was alerted to it back when it was that price, and I passed on it, and it went up to $30, then it pulled back. Then it was like 2 years later when I finally decided that the government was less likely to kill it. Even at that point, I thought the government was going to try to kill it, but now I'm 100% sure they're not going to be able to kill it. They're just, that ship has sailed. That threat is no longer on the horizon. In my opinion, Tesla might announce another split soon. Sunrise Beaches. Talk about a bubble. I mean, here's a guy that makes lousy cars, very poor quality control, just uncomfortable. Their luxury sedan, I wouldn't call it a luxury sedan under any benchmark. The rear seat is like riding on a buckboard. No headroom, no padding in the seat. Just terrible cars. Yet he's convinced everybody that it's the cat's meow. That eventually is going to come to an end. That is a scam. So Durr's in the house. I bought 797 shares at $6.27 a piece. It was up to 27.2 a share a couple days ago. They're now projecting it hit 22. There you go. Is there a point where you're going to take your profits? Do tell. I would take those profits and roll them into GBTC is what I would do. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, if you've got a Roth IRA. Hopefully you've got that in a Roth IRA. Do you have anything nice to say about steel Rolexes? Double K in the house. They're generally too expensive right now to justify, in my opinion. There are much better options for the money and better watches, in my opinion, but I wore them for many, many years, so I like them. They're great watches, and Leslie has one, that she got for a good deal. If you can get a steel watch Rolex for, like, 5 grand or less, a really nice one, yeah, I think it's still a great move, but I would limit, the purchase price, to $5,000 because I think for $5,000 you can get some really good watches. For example, that one right there, you could buy that one right there, a titanium stunner with a spring drive, which much more robust than the equivalent Rolex, more comfortable on wrist, more presence, just a better watch all the way around, and that could be had for $5,000. So, and then you could take the remaining 5 or so thousand that you save, and you could put that in Bitcoin and watch it double in a few years. I think that would be a good move. A good move, better than paying too much money for a steel Rolex. The whole luxury watch market is in a bubble. Patek, AP, and Rolex, Richard Mille. Yeah, well, again, a lot of things are being pumped up because of the insane money printing that's been going on. That's correct. That is correct. Kyle's in the house. Craig, I don't really use a laptop. Are you familiar with the Mac Mini M1? That's what I'm using right now. That's what's right here. It's dead silent. It's robust. It's powerful. It is amazing. 2 big thumbs up for the Mac Mini. That is what I'm using to do this broadcast. Yes, do it. Do it to it. And I've got 2, these are Acer monitors hooked up. These are 1080p monitors that I've hooked up because I broadcast in 1080p, so there's no reason to hook up 4K monitors. But I believe this will also drive 2 4K monitors. On my main workstation, I'm driving 2 32-inch Samsung monitors, and it looks great. 2 32-inchers. It works great. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of my workstation so I can show you. Give me a moment here. I finally found it. Finally found it. This is my current workstation, which is the 2021 MacBook Pro, maxed out. The MacBook Pro Max with 64 gigs of RAM, and those are the 2 32-inch Samsung monitors. I love that setup, and it is lightning fast. It's the first computer that we've had fast enough to keep up with the lovely Lady Bree Fit Dance. She's so fast on the computer that she would overrun the computer, and this one can keep up with her just barely. Just barely. Anything I say about steel Rolex? Oh, my first watch was a steel Rolex also. My first real watch back in 1978. Sunrises Beach. Okay, I already read that. Oh, hello. Okay, here we are. Also, do you own gold as an investment? Very little anymore. Yes, I do own some gold, but as a percentage of my net worth, it's a relatively small percentage. I have some gold coins. I have some platinum coins and a fair number of silver coins, but it's a relatively small part of my net worth. Ford and GM will die once the Chinese start selling their electric vehicles here. Okay, we'll see about that. I think Toyota is going to come out with a killer electric car, would be my prediction. Hello, Craig and all, from Carlos. If someone is wealthy, do you think they should get married? Why not? If they can find the right life partner, why not? Just get a good prenup. There's in the house. I do have a Roth IRA set up with 15% of my paycheck going into it bi-weekly. All my Ford stuff are investments I'm not doing on the side. Are investments I'm doing on the side along with BTC and some other stock. Okay. So yeah, see, that's a shame, because if that Ford stock was in the the Roth IRA, all those gains would be tax-free. Tax-free. Kyle says, "Hey, Carlos and Blue. BTC isn't following the same dynamic as 2013 and 2017. Brett in the house. There's a lot more money in the system now, so I don't think it's going to be as volatile as it was in those time frames. As the market cap increases, there'll be less volatility, and there are more people to step in and buy the dips. So I think we're going to be less volatile. And I think the gains are not going to be as significant as they have been in the past. I think we'll probably still double every year for the foreseeable future, because that's about the rate that the network is growing. So I think it's going to at least double. But I don't know if it'll 10x every year or anything like that. Or I think our average has been 200% a year or something over time. And I think it'll probably drop maybe to 100% a year. Our Wags is in the house. What do you think about that? Good afternoon, everyone. Early broadcast. Great. I can't make the 5 p.m. Saturday broadcast because of a schedule conflict. Okay, so you're here. What do you think? What do you think about Bitcoin, our Wags? We said it before 2021 came around. We said 2021 was going to be an exciting year. Do we think it's lived up to the excitement prediction? Craig, you have the M1 Mac Mini, the new one. Yes. Yes, I bought this specifically for doing broadcasts, and that's all I use it for. It's here on the broadcast table. Let me see if I can get the camera pointed around to it here. Give me a second. Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. Camera 2, and get this Yeti out of the way. Let's put it up here and get this stuff off the top. And that be the Mac Mini with a bunch of things hooked into it. And it is dead silent all the time. And they're very robust and very powerful. Highly recommend the new Mac Mini with the M1 chip. Highly recommend anything with the M1 chip. M1 is a killer chip. Let's see. Kyle in the house. Our Wags. Hi, Kyle, Carlos, and Blue. Okay. And everybody's saying hi. Tim is in the house hanging out. And hello, Kyle, our Wags and all. Our Wags is the man. Congratulations on your Ford investment. Durr in the house. Yes, Durr's rocking it. Hey, if we can just get him to liquidate some of the steel stunners and reallocate some of that capital, Durr would be, we can get Durr, like right on up there with the I was going to say Warren Buffett, but he doesn't own any Bitcoin. I think he actually does behind the scenes. I think while he's bad mouthing Bitcoin, I think he's probably buying it. A lot of those guys are buying behind the scenes, I believe. Carlos is in the house. Let's see. Are you holding? Okay. Thanks, our rigs. I bought it on a whim and took a chance. Never expected it to even get as high as it has. Yeah, for now. Now that they just reinstated their dividend and I have my dividends being reinvested, I'm going to hold out for a little longer with Ford before cashing it in and reinvesting. And Kyle is all over it. Did you get the 8 gig or the 16 gig for the Mac Mini? Okay, let's check. Let me go to about this Mac and then I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay. System. Oh, memory is 8 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes. It's an M1. Let's see what else we can find out here. Storage. It is the 245 gigabyte. So this might be like almost the base model. Again, I bought it specifically for doing these broadcasts, so there's no data on here. I run very few programs on it. The only thing I use it for is these broadcasts. So if you're going to use it for other things, you might want to max out the RAM. Forget about the M1 chip. All the ladies care about our chip. There you go. Will the chip shortage affect Apple? I think it already is. I think there's already been some shortages of some of their things. Bitcoin 1 year ago was 17,153. I would say 2021 has been an exciting year. Our wags in the house. Our wags in the house. And you know what's interesting about that is a lot of people are all upset on what they call crypto Twitter, right? That we're not going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. It looks like we're not going to do it. Everybody was saying we're going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year, and they have these huge predictions, right, for Bitcoin. And I'm thinking to myself, my goodness, I mean, we are doing great. Everything, the news is great. We got El Salvador issuing bonds, backed by Bitcoin. We got all kinds of great news. All kinds of great things are happening. These people just are never satisfied, right? I mean, my gosh, I'm like over the moon with what's happened with Bitcoin over the last year. I don't think it could be any better. And yet people just are like, oh my gosh, it's all over. We're done. We're not going to hit 100,000, blah, blah, blah. I think that, well, they're short-term thinkers and they're not playing the long game. So we'll see what happens with all of that. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Does anyone know anything about RET stocks, real estate investment trusts? I guess that is. In ETFs, I'm thinking about investing in tickers. Okay, buy low, dividends high, and they pay monthly. I never messed with any of them. I own real estate itself as opposed to those, but maybe someone else has some comments. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger refer to Bitcoin as rat poison. It's hilarious to hear them freak out over Bitcoin. Yeah. And even it's funny because I heard Dave Ramsey was interviewed recently by Ben Shapiro, and he kind of he didn't attack Bitcoin the way he normally does. He definitely did not endorse it, did not say buy it. He said just buy mutual funds like he does, right? But he did say that if you want to do some riskier stuff with like 10% of your portfolio, that you could do that, right? And he implied that that could be one of those riskier things that you could do. He didn't come right out and say it, but he seems like he's getting ready to start backpedaling a little bit on over the years. I mean, for years, he's been telling people not to buy Bitcoin. And can you imagine how much money he's cost all his listeners by saying that? I mean, my God, he's been saying it since like 2013, when the price was a couple $100. So you talk about somebody really missing out and really being wrong on a major, what could arguably be considered the most significant invention in the last 1,000 years. There's almost nothing. The Bitcoin is right up there with the wheel, with electricity, as far as the significance of the invention that Satoshi Nakamoto came up with. I mean, to invent a way to have sound money that anyone in the world can possess and send from one individual to another individual, just like a bearer instrument, just like I handed you cash, to invent that capability that many had tried previous to him to do unsuccessfully. This is a breakthrough right up there with the wheel, electricity, the automobile, just major breakthroughs. And to just dismiss it like that without, I don't think he knows much about it. So there's that. Kyle's in the house. I also want to see what they do with the newer iMac Pro. They haven't released the M1 large iMacs yet. Yeah, they're going to roll it into everything. It's amazing. Listening to two of them on BTC is almost as good as Chris Hogan and Dave Ramsey. Yeah. I think you will find Realty the best for Ritz. Excellent track record over the long term. Our wags in the house. When are we Bitcoiners moving to El Salvador? I'm thinking about going there and looking at some real estate, maybe buying some raw land down there somewhere. I'm thinking about making a trip down in probably January. So that's the deal. Kyle's in the house. It's unfortunate that he said all that about BTC without doing any research on it. Yeah. Our wags, that is what I was thinking as well. I was thinking about putting a few grand into Realty and just let the dividends reinvest and build up over time. There you go. Playing the long game, investing, saving and investing. That's the way to do it. Okay, so again, I was out walking and I had to check the time, and a passerby glanced at the 002 stunner, and this was the reaction for those of you that came in late. Let me pull up the reaction here. Here we go.
Is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, so once again, here's what she
Is
said.
Stunning. It's absolutely beautiful.
So hey, I mean, that's an actual recording of what she said about the 002. So, you guys tell me. You can tell me what the deal is. And as far as Bitcoin goes,
strong copper, gold, but the real returns have been in crypto. As you can see, year to date, Bitcoin has an 800% return. Your insistence on taking a large position was insanely prescient.
Whereas I wouldn't know a Bitcoin from a Subway token.
Well, you wouldn't have to. That Bitcoins aren't a tangible thing.
They aren't. I wouldn't know. My investment in Bitcoin was neither prescient nor insane. I was just following Mr. Nakamoto's instructions. Satoshi said buy, I bought.
Satoshi Nakamoto, you know him, who he really is.
Yes, well, Demme knows him better than I. They're like,
Is there anything else we need to review? We do have a plane to catch.
I'm sorry, you know Nakamoto? The Nakamoto? No one knows Nakamoto.
Mr. Kane, we really must be going, which means you need to be going.
So there you go. So he got in early on Bitcoin, and the other problem that people want to avoid is they want to avoid buying ugly watches, right? They want the reaction to be positive, something something the opposite of this reaction here.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, so don't buy the ugly watches. So and as far as the investing goes with
greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Yeah, so there you go. Stay greedy. That's good. Make the money. Oh, look, we got a bunch more comments here. I think I am oh, okay. My understanding, El Salvador is a horrible place to be. That's why it can be a good place to buy raw land. If he turns it around, if Bukele is able to turn that around and turn it from the most horrible place to be in Central America to one of the coolest places to be, that could be a decent return on an investment. There you go. That's how that whole thing works. You buy in an area that is going to turn around. You don't buy in the area that's already turned around. So it's been a winner chicken dinner. Epic reaction. Is El Salvador stable politically these days? Carlos. Maybe Carlos will answer that. I think, well, time will tell if that's the case. Bukele seems to be doing a pretty good job as far as I can tell. Did you ask her out, Craig? No, they usually ask me out. That's usually how that whole thing works. I've not been in El Salvador. It seems to be worse than Guatemala, and Guatemala is a really bad place. That's great. Hey, I want it to be, I want it to have a really bad reputation when I buy and then a really good reputation when I sell. That's the deal on all that. Kyle's in the house. Brent went recently to El Salvador. Okay, do we have a report? Wags, I was watching a video the other day and the guy was doing math and showed that a few $100,000 in O Realty at present time would yield $50K a year in dividend. A few $100,000 in O Realty at present time. Really? Huh. That's a hell of a return. It's like a 25% return or something. I don't know. I'm not good with math, but that's a heck of a return. I do not follow it really. Predator was great, says Kyle. Ron, go okay. Thanks, Craig. Don't go to El Salvador. Buy land in Panama next to Carlos's place. Hey, I want to buy a place that's on the upswing. Carlos's place is already established. It's already beautiful. You can't make any money there. You got to buy something, like if people bought real estate down in Washington, D.C. after the riots, right, from the areas that were burned out and all that, and then sat on it for 20 or 30 years, they made a killing, right? That's what you do. Evening, Lance, Carlos, and Chip says trashy Larry. That's correct. O'Reilly has a track record of raising their dividends. Okay. And REITs are a way of investing real estate without some of the headaches of being a landlord, but do your research. Not all are created equal. Yes, I'm sure that's true. Having high quality leather in a boot is useless if the construction is not proper and cheap products are used. Good point. Kyle, did Brent come back or is he still alive? Ritz Real Estate Investment Trust. Watching this episode makes me want to circle back to a nagging question I had, Chip. Mark Twain once said, buy land. They are not making any more of it. They did make some in Dubai, right? And they've made some in Manhattan. They've added land to Manhattan. So they do add some, but they can't add but so much. And some is being taken away, right? Some is being eroded away. Of course, the climate change fanatics would say that it's because of global warming. And I would say land on various seashores has been eroding away for thousands of years. I mean, it's just what happens. It's called erosion. But then there's that. He's back. He didn't seem too excited about going back. Okay. He's headed to Costa Rica next time. Okay. I'm wearing my Alden shoe cap toe Oxfords today. Nice. So folks, here's the thing. It's best to It's best to let me take care of anything that's really important, that's really significant.
That's me. No, I handle the fine stuff. You're backup all the way.
Yeah, I handle the fine stuff. Okay. So that's how that works. Let's see what else I got for you guys. No, I'm not going to play that one. That one would be in poor taste, I think. Oh, by the way, did you hear this latest FUD? Oh, we're not allowed to talk about that thing either. The latest FUD about the virus. We can't talk about that either. There's nothing fun that we can talk about without getting the channel shut down. Let's see. Oh, assume it's great if you still okay. A lot of people seem to really be pushing realty right now. I also put some money in Ultra Group currently per share, paying dinner and 20. Okay. Let's see. Next Rich Gang party, Carlos's crib. Yes. I'm showing the dividend yield of O'Reilly is currently 4.18%. Alden is really going downhill. I think you can get around 4%, can't you, with like Verizon, something like Verizon? Let's see, without taking the risk of a potential crash in the real estate market. So there's that. We can't get this channel shut down. That's right. We can't call. Just ask Derek in the house. Okay. So let's see what else I had for you guys that I can actually play. What's this? Why did I even have this clip in here? Let's see what this one is.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make an offer he can't refuse. Oh boy. All right, I got to take this. I got to go back to the comments here. We're getting behind again on comments. New York New Year's Eve. Okay. I do have some money invested in Verizon as well. It's holding steady. I think that's a safe haven. That's the way I look at a stock like that. Craig, have you ever been to the state of Montana? I don't think so. I've been out west a few times, but I don't think I've been there. It would have been years ago, and I don't recall, but I don't think I was. Let's see here. I gotta. Yeah, the Steel Watch guys, right? This is the clip I put in for those guys.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth, right? That the market is like peaked and that they're about to get their, what's handed to them when the bubble bursts. And and there was a guy that bought a Tudor. This was the reaction.
It looks like somebody's nightmare.
There are still people that are talking about buying Tudors in the forums. I kid you not. There are people that are actually buying Tudors.
You must choose. But choose wisely. You have chosen wisely.
See, he didn't buy a Tudor. He bought the Grand Seiko. So that's how that happened. And this was this is the reaction to the Grand Seiko, the routine reaction.
What? I mean, this is amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow, this is really pretty.
So I can't make this stuff up. That's the actual footage of how she reacted. So, but yet these people still don't listen. They don't listen.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
That poor guy. They were beating the you-know-what out of him. Oh, God. All right, let's see what we got on the comments here. We got a bunch of comments here. anyone else not get a notification? Yeah, notifications are a real problem. Craig, how many gigs of RAM did you get in the MacBook Pro? I maxed it out at 64 gigs. I maxed it out because we use that one for editing 4K video, and I didn't want to take any chances. So it's the top of the line 14 inch, the top of the line 14 inch. It's a 14 inch M1 MacBook Pro M1 Max with 64 gigs of RAM. The only thing that is not maxed on it is the SSD is 4 terabytes instead of 8 terabytes. List price was just over $5,000. So yeah, it's a beast. Craig, have you been in Sangamore Hill? Do you recommend to visit it? I'm planning one day around Long Island in early January. No, I have not been there, but it could be chilly in Long Island in early January. So just be ready to dress warm. And Carlos says hello, and I didn't. Craig, which is heavier, your gold stunner or the titanium diver on the bracelet? The titanium diver is heavier. Definitely. Not even a close call. This just floats on my wrist. I mean, it feels solid to hold it and all that, but it just floats on the wrist. It's not very heavy. For one thing, it's got a sapphire case back, so it doesn't have that gold. And there's not but so much gold in these cases like this. So no, it's significantly lighter than the 231 stunner. It's probably 100 grams versus 130 grams, something like that would be my guesstimate. I seem to remember this is like 95 grams or something like that. And the other one's like 135, but you can Google it. I'm sure you can probably find the actual weight. Look, I was here. I just got back from breakfast and the show went live. Craig, what is your favorite flyover state? I mean, my favorite state by far is Florida. And that's not really a flyover. That's like in a whole different direction, right? And Sarasota is, in my opinion, the best part of Florida. So you just can't beat that. You can't beat it with a stick. Tim's in the house. What about the new Marine Tudor with fixed lugs? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I would pass on a Tudor. I wouldn't even consider a Tudor. I think there are a lot of better options. Tudor looks like Freddy Krueger's nightmare, and that's a scary thought. A local store said Tudor just pulled out from their store, and he had 3 Black Bay 58s on display in the showcase. Interesting, and they yanked his franchise. Interesting. Hello, my friend Carlos. Are you doing today, my friend? Okay. Alden's quality is not good. This is pathetic for 2021. It can happen. They can let quality control can be a problem sometimes. You got to examine these things. You got to really check them out. 64, haha, that's great. The ladies call me MacBook Pro because I can also display 14 inches. Hopefully both Toms and Stig can make the next event at Little Treasury. Yeah. Craig, I'm thinking of selling my car and buying that solid gold Tudor. Oh, no. Please. Can you wear a yellow gold wedding band with a stainless steel watch? Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. Yes. We are stronger than titanium. Calvert, okay. How is the weather where everyone's at? It's currently 28 degrees and snowing hard here. It was sunny here today and about 38 degrees. So I got a nice walk in. I was wearing my, let me show you the coat I was wearing. Time check while I pull that up. So I was wearing this shearling coat, that shearling coat for my walk. That was made in England, England. And so I was comfy warm. I had a couple layers underneath it, and I was wearing some insulated pants. And I went for a nice long walk, over 2 hours, and was comfortable, 38 degrees. So there you go. Okay, does Steve still deal in Tudor? If he gets a used one in, he'll sell it. He'll take one in on trade. What's up, Kyle? Love the new GS you picked up. Oh, that thing is stunning. Let's find the picture of that. That is stunning. Stunning, 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 stunning watch. Talk about a find. Talk about an amazing snag. That was a good move. That was a very good move on the part of Kyle. See, you can buy something like that that is robust, that is extremely durable, titanium, and pay a fraction of what you would pay for a steel stunner Rolex. Literally a fraction. Let's see. Okay, I read that. Okay, here. What's your favorite Japanese electronics brand? Sony, Panasonic, Hitachi, Sharp? I don't think it matters anymore. I think that, first of all, a lot of them aren't even made in Japan anymore. And so there's that. I'm always disappointed if I get like a high-end lens or something for my camera and it's not made in Japan. It's made in like Vietnam or something. Sometimes they are made in Japan. My A7S Mark III, I believe it was made in Japan. But yeah. Craig, what batteries do you use inside your keyboard? This keyboard is wired. As a matter of fact, both of my keyboards are wired. I much prefer a wired keyboard because it doesn't have issues. The mouse that I have, some of them use the AA, like this one here, uses 2 AA batteries. The newest mouse I have is the one that you plug in and charge. It's got internal batteries. So yeah, but my keyboards are wired, which I much prefer. Skip the ambulance and get a tank, Craig. And Kevin, it's super comfortable. Yeah, that thing is amazing. Craig, oh, by the way, Kyle, let us know, is it comfortable? You've been wearing it now for a while. How does it feel on wrist? Have you been wearing it? First of all, tell us that. And if you have been wearing it, how comfortable is it? I think, Craig, do you still have a VHS player? I think I got rid of it. I think I gave it to Goodwill. That code is badass, says Durr in the house. And it is comfortable and warm. That look even scares my owner. Okay. He did not take mine when I wanted to sell my Tudor. Well, he'll probably reconsider if you still have it. And he's not going to give you much for it. I mean, nobody really wants Tudors, but he might take it in on trade. Weather perfect here today in marvelous Melbourne, Australian Open in preparation. Oh, cool. Cool. So let me see what else. If I have anything else I can, oh, here's the startup of the 002. You can see it start up. You'll notice when I wind it that it starts faster and then slows down once the tri-synchro regulator kicks in. So watch very closely this video clip. Okay, I'm going to start up the spring drive. I'm going to wind it, and you're going to see there right at the beginning, it goes about double speed for maybe 4 seconds or so, and then it slows down once the regulator kicks in, and then you get that smooth flow of the spring drive second hand, that just mesmerizing smooth sweep No ticks at all, just a smooth sweep of that second hand. And this, of course, is my SBGY002 Grand Seiko 18 karat gold stunner. And it is a stunner. You should see it in person. There you see a little bit of bluing on the on that second hand, depending on how the light hits it. But look at the gorgeous case. Look at that brushing on the side. Just the detailing of this watch is absolutely amazing, just at the highest level. I think superb detailing. I think over and above most of the high-end Swiss bands like Patek, Vacheron, Audemars, all those. I think this takes quality and finishing to a whole new level. And also practicality. The spring drive is extremely robust and reliable. Okay, you guys have heard all that before. Now here's the a macro shot of the faux pay. So there you go. And let me go back to the comments, and then we're going to check out Michael Saylor's comments on Bitcoin. Let's see. Sent an email. Your next vehicle, Craig. Okay, we'll look at that. My GS is so comfortable, it's hard to wear anything else. Let's go. Then don't wear anything else. Just wear it. Life's too short. Wear your most comfortable watch. Kyle, which GS did you get again? Okay, he'll share that info. Okay, so let me go back to here's Michael Saylor's comments regarding Bitcoin. Actually, I think this is regarding Brianna's video that she did that went viral.
Now for what's important. So, Michael, I wake up every single day and the first thing that pops into my head is Michael Saylor, bull, bull, bull. I need to know if that song is stuck in your head as well and what you think of it.
It's quite hypnotic, isn't it?
I'm not even kidding. It's actually the first thing I think of.
You know, so first of all, I cannot officially comment on the video, but it's hypnotic, and it does make me think this, which is one of the great strengths of the Bitcoin community and crypto Twitter is there's this massive amount of very creative, inspired, entrepreneurial people. And they're always thinking about how to communicate the message and how to drive awareness. And if I hired 100 people in marketing and I spent $40 million a year and I said, I'm going to market Bitcoin, they would all huddle and they would work through all their ideas. And in 90 days, they would come up with an idea which is about 1/40th as good as that. It would get knocked down by the lawyers. And there's none of that would ever happen. And yet in Twitter, you've got 1,000 people trying 1,000 different things. And if they're really awful, they get one like and they die. And if they're, there's no guarantee. We don't know that someone else didn't create their own video. It's just you didn't see it. So someone gets together with somebody else. They produce something. They want to send a message. It picks up steam. It goes viral. It gets 600,000 views. Right. And it happens in 24 hours while you're sleeping. And that's the real power of decentralization and the Hive.
So it's pretty amazing to have a billionaire say things like that about a video that Brianna and I produced. That's pretty amazing. I mean, I couldn't have scripted a more complimentary thing for a billionaire to say about the video that that Brianna starred in and that got 600,000 views pretty much overnight. So which started, by the way, the bull run. It started the bull run that we're in. Bitcoin was about $11,000 at the time that Brianna released that video, and now it's what, $55,000. So, and if you look at the chart, it literally started taking off when she released that video. It was flat. Michael Saylor made his large purchase of $430 million worth of Bitcoin or whatever. And then the price of Bitcoin was going flat for almost a month. And then Brianna released that video about him. And that's when the price started taking off. It's right on the chart. So let's see. Let's see, titanium. What do you think about people buying real estate? Let's go, Brent. Okay. Oh, here, Craig. How much? Oh, geez, we got a lot of comments here. Okay. How much dairy do you take in? Not very much. I make my own almond milk. That's not dairy. Maybe eat some yogurt occasionally, but very little dairy. Carlos Sangamil here is beautiful. January might not be the best time to visit, but let me know. I'm not far away. Okay, Kevin in the house. Kyle, I'm getting Let's Go Brandon gear for all my liberal family members, Sunrise Beaches. What do you think about people buying real estate and yachts in the metaverse? Oh boy. The whole NFT thing and this whole metaverse thing is pretty bizarre. Tim, is it the SBGX 267? It is the SBGX 267. Titanium 9F. Yes. A stunner. I learned so much watching your channel, Trashy Larry. Where is that vid? Sunrise Beaches. If you just Google Michael Saylor, Bull, you'll probably find it. Let me see if I can get the link to it. Let's see here. Okay, so Michael Sellers, the Bull. All right, so here is I'm gonna give you the link to it on YouTube. The video that got all the shares and got 600 views is on Twitter, so you can also find it there. But I'm going to give you the video, the link on YouTube. Okay, so that's in the chat. Yeah, and so Carlos is in the house. I understand it is not a great time, but I will be a week in New York, and I have the last day that I was thinking of spending the day around Long Island. I have very late flight back to Panama. Trashy Larry in the house. Also, you may talk about the industry and general companies. I think this would elevate the game for the channel to okay. Steve, all your viewers wish you nothing but the best health and prosperity for you and your family, not just during the holiday season, but all year round. Okay. If Steve is watching, okay. Hey, Megan's in the house, so it's time to wrap up. And there's the link I shared. And Kyle, I gather you're enjoying the wearing experience of the. Yes, he said it's amazing. He said it's amazingly comfortable. So let's see. Let me go and let me play one more video of Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up after that one because I'm starting to get hungry. I'm gonna have an early dinner. That's why I started this early because I didn't have lunch. So here we go. Michael Saylor on Bitcoin.
So, Michael, what would you say is the biggest existential threat to Bitcoin, if there is one?
I don't think there is. I think that Bitcoin is going to be the emergent, strong money store of value asset in the 21st century. I think it's pretty clear that it has won this space. There are 8 billion people that need a strong money or a monetary asset if they're going to live a decent life, that asset needs to be digital and needs to flow to 8 billion mobile wallets. You need three things. You need an asset, which is deflationary. You need a global network to synchronize all those mobile wallets and all those applications. And then you need an open protocol so that you maintain real-time settlement and synchronicity between all the various layers if you're going to maintain the integrity and the trust of the network. And Bitcoin has those three things. It has the asset, has the network, has the protocol. And silver doesn't, gold doesn't, can't do it with real estate, can't do it with stocks, can't do it with bonds, can't do it with any fiat currency. If you look at all the other cryptocurrencies, the proof of stake currencies don't offer the security or the stability of a proof of work. And of the proof of work crypto asset network, Bitcoin is 100 times bigger than the next best one. So I think it's pretty clear Bitcoin's the solution to, the economic problem of the 21st century.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else you can say about that. All right, let me catch up on the comments, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Let's see. Enjoy. Okay. Craig, can you talk me out of selling my tokens? Well, yeah, sell any of your altcoin tokens and buy Bitcoin. That's what you do. Get rid of all the altcoins and buy Bitcoin, and then hold it. Just hold it. Don't sell. I want to score a van for my camping treks. Okay. And I put a Let's Go Brandon bumper sticker on my Hummer and then forgot about it. A week later, someone started honking their horn at me, and I was about ready to get into a road rage incident until he let's see, loving it, Tim, until he passed me with a thumbs up and I forgot about my bumper sticker. Okay. And Kyle's laughing. Careful about who you go with on those trips. Good point. It's very comfortable watch and the cost was quite low. I'm venturing out on my own, Carlos. Okay. Craig, fess up and admit you wrote the Bull 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 song. Well, we worked on it together. I mean, Brianna's not made any secret of that. We worked together on it. And Michael Saylor said as much. They always say two people get together or whatever, or something like that. I forget his exact wording. I mean, he knew what he was talking about. He obviously knew about the song. I mean, he saw like literally hundreds of thousands of notifications with his name on them when the thing was going viral. And this was before he was big time well known on social media. This was the catalyst for him becoming as well known on social media and for him going on a whole bunch of other shows and being interviewed, going on major media, all that. Her video basically launched all of that, which then launched the bull market. Just a fact, folks. Just a fact. Nothing but the facts on this channel. Tim's in the house. Kai, I'm looking at the Blue Dial version with the 9F movement. Craig, you're the only guy I've heard who speaks his mind, no bull. John in the house. That's what this channel's all about. That's why this channel was necessary, because there's so many people out there that are just blowing smoke or just don't know what they don't know. That's the big issue. Some of them don't know what they don't know. Durs in the house. I bought myself a pair of Crocs. Talk about awesome house shoes. These things are great. Get yourself a pair of moccasins from Townview. I think it's Townview Moccasin Company. Search on my channel, Moccasin, and see the video. Talk about a comfortable pair of house shoes. And I've had Crocs. I can give you an A/B comparison. So, Megan, I think you should consider Lance going with you. I think Lance might be a little busy with school. Bree made Michael Saylor a star. That's correct. Sounds like Michael owes Bree at least a Bitcoin. You would think. You would think, and she's messaged him and all. He's never even responded to any of her messages. She wanted to interview him, and he's too big time. Your man Greg is okay. Let's see. A close up of the screws for the tips of the two areas looks like it might be in line. Okay. All right, so we're going to wrap this puppy up. I'm going to play one more video, and then we're going to wrap it up. Here's Stacy talking about Ethereum. This is a funny one, and then we're going to wrap it up. But thanks for watching.
Stacy, there's also a lot of energy around Ethereum. I'm guessing you prefer Bitcoin over Ethereum. Why is Bitcoin better than Ethereum for you?
Bitcoin is layer one money. That is the first layer one money since gold. That's 5,000 years that we have not seen a new layer one money. Bitcoin fixes a lot of the inherent problems of gold in being layer one money, a decentralized money for all people. Ethereum is just a software product built as if, pitching itself as some sort of money, a get rich quick scheme upon which many scams are built. Bitcoin focused, the Ethereum, by the way, it was founded by Vitalik Buterin because he couldn't wait for Bitcoin to introduce layer 2. He was not willing to accept a solid, strong layer 1 money. That was fundamentally the most important thing for Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is where it is today, and that's why we have another 5,000 years ahead of us.
There you go, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll try to do it again. There's the official time. And everybody have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend.